hello and welcome back to another episode of The Salisha Show. You guys, I'm not pregnant anymore. This is a very exciting time. Okay, so this is one of my first interviews back postpartum, and we're just getting back into the flow of things. And I'm so excited because my guest today, I've only gotten to see her on my computer screen far away, but I've been rooting her on even before she knew that I was rooting her on. So I first saw her compete for Miss New York USA, and I thought, wow, who is that? Just her presence on stage alone made me question my own beauty standards on so many things. And by the end of the pageant, she had completely won me over. She placed second runner-up. I personally think she should have placed higher than that. But then Miss USA came up with an open call casting system. She didn't win Miss New York, but I just happened to become one of the virtual judges for Miss USA. We didn't know each other, but I was so excited that her name was in the mix. And so I got to look at a few things there, and she became our Miss New Hampshire USA and did us all proud at the competition. She made history not by changing who she was, but by showing up exactly as she is, leading with beauty and strength and showing us that it comes in so many different forms. You guys, please help me give a very warm welcome to our Miss New Hampshire USA, MonaLesa Brackett.
Thank you for having me. It sounds so good when you introduce me.
I mean, it's you. That is you.
That's me.
That is you.
Thank you.
Okay, you made history. What the heck?
It is still a whirlwind. Everything happens so fast. I can't even believe this is my life. It's so amazing. 20 years in the making. My dream just came true overnight.
How on earth? I want to know about, because you used to compete back in the day.
Way back in the day.
And there was a gap in there.
Yes.
Why?
Okay, so I competed. I did my first competition, Miss New York Teen USA, when I was 17 years old.
Oh, you did the teens.
Yes. I am not new to this. I'm true to this.
Not new to this, true to this. Come on.
Yes. So I did teen in 2006. And I'm from Bed-Stuy. I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Come on.
And no one in my family knew about pageantry. One of my teachers, whom I don't even know, someone gave me an envelope. And when I got home, I saw that it was an application to Miss New York Teen USA. And when we got there, we didn't know what we were doing. I was dressed one way. I saw everyone else. I was just like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We don't know what we're doing this go round.
Cool. But then you came back.
I came back. I got a trainer when I went to college, Morgan State University. I saw a young lady named Shauna, and she was Miss Maryland, America. And I said, who's your pageant coach? And she said, it's Mrs. A, Adrienne Watson Carver. And she connected me with her. I started working with Miss A, and I came back to compete at Miss New York USA in 2008.
In 2008? Hold on. So then I know that there was a lot of things that changed with age requirements, marital requirements, yes. All of the things that normal women have, and they got rid of all of those.
Yes.
So then you decided to come back.
Yes. You know what? I was back living in New York. My mom had passed away, so I came back to New York after all of my many million bazillion adventures. I was back living in New York, and I thought at first, wow, I can't compete because I'm a hijabi now. I wear hijab. I'm not going to wear a bikini, so I can't compete. And then the next year I said, why can't I? I saw that a trans woman had won Maryland the year prior. And then I also saw that Miss Puerto Rico was in her 30s and she was a mom and a wife. And I said, no, this is not a gimmick. I really can do this. So let me get in there. Let me get back in shape. I'm going to apply. And I applied. And at first I didn't hear anything. So I said, well, maybe they don't want me. And then I got the call. And when I got the call, I believe it was Deborah. She said, no one called you yet? I said, no. I thought you guys didn't want me. And she's like, no, we definitely want you. And and that's how it happened.
Hold up. I have goosebumps.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Were you scared? And by that, here's what I mean. For those of you who are watching, I don't know if you know any bit of my journey, but I used to wear my hair straight all the time. I used to do pageants as well, and I didn't think that I could ever win with curly hair. And I went through a whole journey of embracing my curls. One of my good friends used to always compete with straight hair. She eventually embraced her curls and won with curly hair. And so knowing what you knew about the pageant system, coming back into it with fresh eyes, with more wisdom and experience, and this version of who you are, were you scared?
I was not scared. I really thought that everything was aligning for me. The only thing I was scared of was that this would be the first time competing without my mom, because my mom started this journey with me and she was there for me with everything. But I looked at the blessing in it because my mom was a cosmetologist, so she did my hair. So I said, well, thank God, no one will see my hair now. So I would not give someone else the privilege of doing my hair for Miss USA. And I didn't have to, because guess what? My hair is done, but it's covered. So it's wrapped up in this bun that I can do neatly myself. And I don't have to worry about someone else doing it. So everything aligned. So I knew I was meant to be here.
Okay. Did she also do face? Because the face is facing. The face is facing.
So actually, this is from my years of pageantry and just watching different makeup artists do my makeup.
On.
Yeah.
You didn't take a class. You had to have taken a class.
My class has been like on the job, just learning.
Don't lie to me, MonaLesa.
No, I'm telling you, my cousin's makeup artist canceled on her at the last minute and I had to do her makeup for her wedding. So yeah, this is just, pageantry prepares women for everything well-rounded. Anything you can absolutely think of, pageantry prepares you. So pageantry taught me how to do my face, and it came in handy when I needed to do my cousin's.
No makeup class. No Allie Lee Glam.
Well,
no
Allie
Team Flawless.
Team Flawless and Allie Lee Glam. I've worked with both of them. Also Jeremy. I've worked with everyone. Everyone has touched this face.
Come on. Wow.
Yes. Yeah. And you know the heavy hitters. The fact that you mentioned them, my shoot with Carlos, Ali did that. Right. My shoot with Grant, that was Team Flawless.
Nice.
And then Jeremy Krager, Artistry, he did my makeup for Miss USA.
All right, what about the confidence? Where did that come from?
This is Godfidence, okay?
Come on!
Okay? So it definitely comes from God, and it comes from my level of preparation. So the thing is, I had so many people say, well, how will we know that she's in shape if she wears a burkini? My back has not touched the back of this chair because my posture is good, because I'm in shape. So when I walk in a room, you know that I'm in shape because you can tell by my shoulders, how I carry myself, my confidence. I've trained just as hard as everyone else. As you mentioned, the different makeup artists, I work with only the best. So I know when I come to compete, I am at my best because I've done my best. I've trained with the best.
Y'all, I'm so slayed. She said Godfidence. She said my back has not touched this chair. Yeah. I feel like the way you answered, it makes it sound like some people have come for you before and you're like, hold up. Have you faced any pushback in this essence, in this like Godfidence that you have stepped into? And like how do you respond to people who didn't get it and now they're seeing you walk into this purpose?
New York is a very diverse place, so we all see each other. We're accepting of each other. I didn't experience my first like naysayers and lack of support until I got to the USA level, because it's just a little different.
Oh,
so
for real?
Yeah. So because it's like, you know, New York is very diverse, but when you speak of the whole USA, you have people coming from different places, and they may not see people who look like me. They may not have friends who look like me. There may not be people in their workplace who look like me. So when they see me, it's just like, well, she just got here because she looks like this, so she may not be as qualified. But no, check my resume. I used to compete in a bikini. I used to compete with my hair out, and I placed then as well. I didn't place when I first started competing because I didn't know what I was doing. But once Miss A whipped me into shape and I got into the swing of things, yeah, I was placing with a bikini just like everyone else. So,
you're so inspiring, and also you're dropping these bombs with this beautiful, relaxed, gorge face. And I'm like, boop, boop. If I was watching this, I'd be like, oh. Okay, so you're talking a little bit about representation.
Yes.
Did you feel pressure or did you feel empowered? Maybe one or the other, maybe both, stepping into this, like making history. I have not seen anybody on stage wearing, is it called a hijab?
Hijab, yeah. Some people say hijab, I say hijab.
Hijab.
It's an Arabic word. I'm from Brooklyn. I speak English.
Come on.
So we never get it exactly correct. But yeah, hijab.
Thank you. But did you feel pressure doing that, or do you feel empowered?
So I never realized that I'm different until people say it. So when I was at Miss USA and everyone kept saying, how you doing? Is everyone treating you nice? And I'm like, why does everyone keep asking me if people are... And it's like, girl, you're the different person here. But I don't think about it until I'm asked. So it's just, I show up as myself. I know I've trained. I'm not thinking about the fact that the rest of the girls are in bikinis and I'm not, because I don't walk around the house fully covered. So I know I don't look different from them. They may not see what I look like, but I know what I look like. When I go home and I take my hijab off, I know that I have hair under here and it blows in the wind just like theirs. I don't have to show it, right? So I didn't feel... The pressure that I felt was the Muslim community on my shoulders. Initially, Miss New York, I thought that, I'm just getting back into pageantry because this is something that I miss. But when everyone started to see that I was competing, the support that I received, then at the Miss USA level, I realized that my reach is just not the USA. My support and my love is international. And the love that I received from Malaysia, Indonesia, a sister from Indonesia, she DM'd me and she said to me, she watched pageants since she was a little girl. And I'm her prayers answered. She said she always prayed that she would see a hijabi girl at Miss USA. And she said when she saw me, God had answered her prayers through me. And I'm just like, what do I do with that? I'm like competing for Miss USA. I only had 2 weeks to prepare. I was dead tired. I was exhausted. I was mourning my mother. I was trying to pack so many things in so little time. But when you think about the love and the encouragement that I was getting, I would have crawled across that stage if I had to, because it was just so much love and so many people rooting for me. And I was hurt that I only placed top 16. For me, the way I compete, the way I prepare, I always want to be minimum top 5. But the way everyone was so happy to even see me get on the stage, and they were so overwhelmingly happy that I had placed. So it's a beautiful feeling.
You really created a lot of positive ripples. I didn't know you before.
Right.
And I knew exactly who you were when it was, when we wrote each other on Instagram after the fact. I'm like, oh, how exciting. You've created fans just by being who you are. You don't have to come from your exact community to root for you.
Yes.
That is amazing. That's to trailblaze. Especially,
that word.
Come on, right? Like to trailblaze, especially in an arena that has been so
cookie cutter, so we could say,
yeah.
But things are changing. Thank God.
Things are changing, and it's like we wait for people out in the world to make that change, and sometimes we're given the opportunity to be that change, and it can take a lot of courage.
Yes.
When no one else around you is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you answer the call, it's like, okay.
Yeah, it becomes real.
Okay, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned a little bit, like when you were at Miss USA, you're like, hold on, but how was your experience?
I was very tired prior to, because it was only 2 weeks, and because I'm a unique person, I can't just run into a store and purchase clothes. My clothing has to be custom. So I'm working with different designers, and I'm like,
I love you so much. Go on, please.
So my clothing has to be custom. So I had to, I went for my gown. I had to go to Atlanta for my photo shoot. I didn't want to compete as Miss New Hampshire USA, just recycling everything that I used in Miss New York. So I did a new photo shoot. So I went to shoot with Grant, who's in Houston. So I had to fly to Houston. My costume, I couldn't get anyone in New York, so I had to fly to Miami for my costume. So the week of Miss USA, I had already taken 4 flights. And then to get to Miss USA, I was very tired.
MonaLesa, this is a lot.
It was a lot.
This is a lot.
It was a lot, but I had to.
It also sounds expensive.
It was expensive. Thank God for my village. Hey, Auntie Bertha.
Come
Thank
on.
you, girl. Yes. So I that's one thing I do have. And that's what I highlighted so much when I competed for Miss New York USA. People say, oh, Muslim women are oppressed. They're unsupported. I was the most supported there. Even though it was only my dad in the audience, I raised $14,000 to compete in Miss New York USA.
What?
My sponsors were Popeyes, Urban Modesty, State Farm, Friends and Family.
How did you get State Farm? That sounds so random.
So the thing is, I do a lot of charity work quietly. But when it was time for me to step up into the public eye, I reached out to those same sponsors that do community service projects with me. So because they already know my track record and the work that I do in the community, and that I would do so much more as a title holder, they were happy to support me.
Oh, that is genius.
Yeah.
And also full circle.
Mm-hmm.
And, what is the word I'm thinking of? Like, not wholehearted, but it feels good.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you've been showing up.
Yeah. And quietly. And the moment I had to come to the forefront, they just came behind me.
That's incredible. And your dad supported you.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't have a choice. And, I felt bad for him because when I was competing when I was younger, he was younger. Right? Yeah. But my dad, he's turning 74. So at 73 years old in Miss New York, he's carrying my luggage, pushing things around.
And Dad?
Yeah.
My dad's around the same age.
Yeah. So, and with my mom not being here, now everything is completely on him. So he had to help me a lot. For Miss USA, he got a little off the hook because he only came finals night. It was
he
too
was
much.
Off the hook.
Yeah. So he didn't have to
do
do
much
a whole
for
week.
Me.
Yeah, everything I had to do it by myself. My roommate, she's like, how are you even up? And I said, I'm living off my prayers because I had to press on my clothing. I'm wearing different gowns and things. So I had to press everything. I had to get everything together. I was getting maybe 2-3 hours of sleep a night. My makeup appointments were at 4:30, 5 a.m.
The pageant week.
And remember, I hadn't really slept for 2 weeks because I was traveling. I was doing a bunch of interviews.
Were you able to have fun at all? Because this sounds very exhausting.
I was exhausted, but I would say the fun comes just from the moments. I was living my dream. So even if I was dog tired, didn't eat enough, whatever, I was living my dream. That's fulfilling your dream is always fun. But I think a lot of people don't realize the work that you have to do to get places.
Right.
So I look back and it was fun. I lived my dream that I had since I was a little girl. It doesn't get more fun than that.
Oh my God. Were you able to make any friends, or was it, I don't know what what was the vibe backstage?
The vibe backstage, everyone was cool, but you know what? It wasn't as tight-knit as it was for Miss New York, which is strange because we were only there for 3 days, but with Miss USA, it was a whole week. But we had so many things to do.
Okay.
And it's where it's like constant appointments. You're going from this to the photo shoot to this. And it's like the group that you're standing next to may not be who you're going to be next to for the rest of the week. So you have little stints with people.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the same. But when you're at a state pageant, the 5-6 that are next to you, that's who you're always with. So those are your buddies.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the moment we didn't win Miss New York. Did we think that it was over this year for Miss USA?
Okay.
When you got the call for Miss New Hampshire, like, what was that? Because I was swiping just like everybody else. They didn't tell the judges who was actually chosen. We put in our scores and put it out there. And then on Instagram, like everybody else, we're like, oh,
she made it.
Oh, what was the moment for you?
So I did think it was over for me this year, but I also remember I thought it was over for me when I turned 27, 28. So many times I thought it was over for me, and God says, psych, you're actually still in this thing.
Come on, psych.
Yeah, so I thought it was over for me. I had started preparing to compete for Miss New York because I'm like, I am winning this thing next year. I'm coming all the way correct. So I started preparing for that.
Miss New York is a big pageant.
It's the hardest in the country, so I hear.
There's a lot of girls there.
Well, it was more when I was younger. When I used to compete, when I did teen, it was about 212 of us. When I did Miss, it was about 240. And now it's smaller. I think this year it was like 168.
That's a lot still. That's a lot.
It's the most, yeah. Because I did DC USA as well. I did Maryland when I was in college.
If you get the opportunity to compete again, I don't know, as the rules are right now.
They may change. You never know. Things are changing. I would definitely compete again. I have my eyes on some other things that I can't discuss just yet. But yeah, I'm working. But if I had the opportunity, would I? Yeah, because I was so tired and run down at Miss USA. I had to take that opportunity regardless of the cost, right? But if I had the opportunity again, I could show up as myself. And then I could really be a showstopper. My Miss USA experience, though, it was good. Have you ever had a dream and it's like you're trying to run in a dream, but you're not really moving?
Yeah.
And I was just so tired until it was like, I'm trying to run, but it's like, these poses are not hitting, the way I would have. Because I would do it again if I could. But I have some other things that I have my eyes on.
Okay. Oh, I wish you could share, but don't worry. Don't soon. Okay. So because my heart is a pageant girly.
Yes.
Okay. I haven't competed in a long time, and now I just had this baby. I'm like, There was somebody in the comments who was like, man, I'm 8 months pregnant, but this is so exciting. I would put myself into the open call. I was that person. I'm like, oh, this does seem so cool. But it was so fun to watch the whole process. And anyway, my question is for you. For those who are like, pageants, what? This is 2026. What are we doing? What do you say? Like, what do you say to those people?
I would say that it is 2026. And if you don't believe pageantry is valid, then you are not living in 2026. So many people think, oh, pageantry is this, it's superficial. But when was the last time you had a conversation with a young lady who competes in pageants? When is the last time you actually watched a pageant? Do you know anyone who competes in pageants? So perhaps you're just assuming, right? Which a lot of people do.
They assume a lot.
Right? Because people even tell me, oh, as a Muslim woman, why are you competing in a beauty contest? Does it say Miss USA beauty pageant? Or does it say Miss USA? Right? Does it say in the writing beauty pageant? No, you just decided this is superficial. You don't watch how we train. You've never been to the gym with me. You've never been in an interview with me or watched my interview. You don't know the philanthropy I do.
Right.
You don't know how these platforms go and help the community.
Wow. Right?
So there's a lot of assuming, and some people you can educate and some people you just have to do a full stop with because it won't go anywhere. They've already decided to be wrong and you just have to allow them to.
You know, I think it's very well said. I think it's it's unfair because a lot of times the things that go viral are people's onstage questions that didn't go well.
Yes.
But from my experience, pageant girls or women who do pageants are so intelligent. They have to be up to date with what's going on in the world, have an opinion on everything, and be ready for anything. Did you do any interview coaching, or is this also...
Yes. So my coach, Michelle Holmes, I work with her for Miss New York USA. I continue with her as Miss New Hampshire and to Miss USA.
Oh, great.
But I also added on Jorge, and I actually had a little something with him last night before this interview.
Before this?
Yeah, because I haven't done anything since, and Jorge, he's so honest and he does such good business. With me being so tired and so overwhelmed while training for Miss USA, I missed one session. So he allowed me to make it up. So I asked him if I could do it last night,
That's
great. And that's the thing too, there are so many people in pageantry who also have integrity as well. So people
I feel like Tom is one of those people.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know him personally.
I didn't get to know him either. Everything was so fast. I do wish I would have, because from what I see, like, he and I have a lot in common.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we should have gotten to know each other, but it was so many things happening.
Okay, for those of you who are listening, because usually I interview performers on Broadway, TV, film. I love talking to us, people of color. Some other people be sneaking in there. But that's usually who I talk to. And every now and then I'll sit down with Pageant Girly. I talked to Chesley Christ in 2019. And for those of you who don't know about this world, Miss USA has been going through so much transition. And this was my first year, like, on the message boards reading with everybody. I was like, oh, no. Oh, my goodness. And I wouldn't say nothing, but every now and then I'd be like, but
right. Sometimes you can't help yourself. You just have to say something.
Especially if somebody's coming for your number one pick.
Yes.
Or your top 5.
Yes.
And so there was a lot of transition, and a man named Tom Broder. How do you pronounce it?
I just say Tom, but I think it's Broder.
Okay. Tom Broder. He just took over Miss USA, bought it, CEO, something like that. Everything. And generally speaking, people love him and he's awesome. So that's who we're talking about when we're just like, Tom.
Yes.
So, okay. Oh, what would you say to women who believe it's too late to start over?
It is never too late to start over. I went to Miss USA at 36. Okay? And I thought it was over. It is never over. 36. And I started this journey. I got my first application when I was 16 years old, stepped on stage for the first time at 17. And my dream became true at 36, 20 years later. So when you think it's over, it's really not. It's not over until you quit. As long as you keep pushing, you can really have it. And I'll say this about my mom. When I was pursuing my dreams and things were starting off slow, and my mom was an entrepreneur also, as I mentioned. She was a cosmetologist, and she told me how things started off slow when she started her business, and then it built. And she said to me, you can have everything you want out of life as long as you never start that biological clock nonsense. And I haven't. So when people ask, oh, when are you going to have children? I have time. If I can go to Miss USA at 36 years old, I can have a baby at 75. I don't care. Like anything.
Happened in the Bible.
Right.
And also
Anything
a lot
happens
of women are doing it
later.
Yeah.
Like there's time. There's time. And I have a cousin. She had her first baby at 42 and no IVF, no nothing. She's not like a health crazed person, nothing. A regular everyday person. And she had her baby.
What I'm hearing is that your mom believed in the power of mindset.
Mm-hmm. And God. Yeah.
And what we believe becomes
the reality.
True.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Ooh. So I can have anything. It's never too late. I'm telling you, whatever you want, you can have it. If you are dead set on having it and remove yourself from anything and anyone negative that is telling you that you can't, you can have it. And sometimes you don't get things because you have those negative people around you or you're in the wrong environment. Sometimes you're not getting what you want because you just can't have it where you are. You have to leave.
You want to speak a little bit more on that?
So like my mom, I realized I had like a little people pleasing in me. Yeah. And I think that was definitely to her detriment. And I realized I was picking it up as well. And I was keeping relationships with people that I knew weren't good for me, but I just felt like they needed me because their lives were not in the best of circumstances. But I realized also everyone chooses the life that they live based on their decisions. So as I stepped away, it's like the more I stepped away, the more blessed I became. Yeah. So sometimes you just have to walk away from situations and people.
Easier said than done, but worth it when it's supposed to be that way.
Well, I'll make it easy for you. You see how my life just blew up last year. Get away.
Wow.
As soon as I stepped away, it's like God said, dum, dum, dum. And everything just took off immediately.
I feel that. I've had that in a different version of that in my own life. Of it's almost like mentally like taking out the trash. Not calling any body trash, but things that are cluttering your mind, your energy, your space. If you purge yourself of that, it kind of allows space for
other
what
things.
You actually
going to Miss
desire.
USA.
Right.
And sometimes people are good. They're just not good for you.
Mm.
And so it doesn't necessarily mean that someone is a bad person. You all just may not be aligned. And my mom always said there's a reason and a season. When you keep people past their season, that's when things start to go down.
Ooh.
So,
that is a scary thing to like.
Yeah. You might have some people to get rid of. I don't know.
I hope not. I mean, I feel like I did a lot of purging and cleansing when I got married.
Okay.
The people who were no longer aligned, they just...
Yeah, people will just fall off. There's like, some people...
where'd you go?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
They'll just leave. Yeah. And so now I get happy. Like when things don't work out, it's like, oh, all right, God, what do you have next for me?
What you got next?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so my biggest question now for you is, who are you outside of pageantry? What do you do? How do you live? Who are you?
I do a lot of things, but mostly I'm a viber and a relaxer. I always say I'm a professional relaxer. I am a lady of leisure. I like an easy life. So I am an entrepreneur and I work businesses that allow me to have ease in life.
Oh my goodness. That could mean so many things. I won't push if you won't.
No, I'll tell you. So when things get a little rough, because in the last 2 years, my businesses did tank a little bit. So I went back to teaching.
Come on, businesses.
Right. Which
Come on, teaching being the backup.
Yeah. So, but that's the blessing of always having an education. So that's what I tell people. Even if you're an entrepreneur or whatever you have, you should have that education. Not that you should plan to fail, but it's always good to have. And unfortunately, in the world that we live in, having an education makes you credible. One of the first things you're asked in any interview, any application, what's your highest level of education, right? So that's something to always keep in mind. But I am a realtor. I specialize in housing the homeless.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the real estate fairy.
The fairy.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Yes. So I got into that because I saw a video of a man and he said people called him a bum. And he said, I'm not a bum. I'm just hard on my luck. And people say, well, why don't you just get a job? And he said, I tried to get a job, but I go into McDonald's and I don't smell good because I'm living on the streets. They won't hire me. And they say, well, why don't you just apply for assistance? And he said, I can't get assistance because I don't have an address to send the assistance to. So I found that there are a lot of people who are homeless and they have housing vouchers and they may be living in a homeless shelter. And I realized that many realtors renters and landlords were discriminated against them. So I said, you know what, which is illegal, by the way, but people found ways to get around the law. So I said, you know what, I will build a business specifically on helping these people. And I remember a man when I was a little girl, he was standing in front of the bank asking everyone, can you buy me a hot dog? Can you buy me a hot dog? And everyone just was ignoring him. I remember his voice, how he spoke, everything. And my mom came out of the bank and she just saw all these people. And she said, why is everyone acting like you don't hear him? Right? And she bought him a hot dog and she said, you know, how many do you want? What do you want on it? And I remember clear as day when she asked, what do you want on it? He said mustard. Right? So people just see homeless people and they just discard them. But the fact of the matter is, any of us can be homeless at any time. I have a client now who he's homeless due to a fire. You can get a bad scammer to take everything you have and you can be homeless. Yeah, I've had someone whose apartment flooded. Anyone can be homeless. So the fact that people just discard of homeless people and think that they are not as worthy, it's pretty disgusting. So I'm glad that I was able to build a business to help them.
I feel like you have such a strong, deep why, and from different facets of your life. When we're talking about on stage, preparation for stage, when we're talking about this, your life off the stage, you have such a deep why. And I'm like, what?
I've lived many, many different lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've always been here, born and raised in Brooklyn?
So I've lived quite a few places, but I am born and raised in Brooklyn. So I spent some time, I went to Morgan State University, and that's when I competed in Miss Maryland also. And then I lived in DC, which is when I competed in Miss DC America, and I placed 4th runner-up. And then I lived in, just add that in there, no hijab, no gimmicks, 4th runner-up. First time in that Miss America system. Come on. And so then I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, where I was pursuing an acting career, and things had started going really well. While I was there, I competed in Miss Georgia United States, 2nd runner-up.
Come on.
And and you know, you just have to put those things out there.
Yes, you do.
And I was pursuing acting. Everything was going so well. And my mom kept telling me, you need to go work for Tyler Perry. You need to go to Tyler. And I'm just like, girl, I don't know this man. Like,
everybody be saying this.
But I did end up going, and I did get a job at the studio, and it was working out good. But
that's awesome.
But that's when my mom passed away, and I had to come back. And I feel like she lived just long enough to see me get there, because that's what she always wanted for me.
Wow.
Yeah. Because she passed right after.
Oh.
Right after that show wrap, my brother called me. He's like, the doctor said she's not going to make it. And I had to come, and I came back to New York. And I'll share this with you, you know, while we're here. I didn't come back just because my mom was passing away. We found out that my uncle, and this is my first time sharing this publicly, so you're getting the exclusive, but I'm in a place now where I don't feel ashamed of the situation. You know, it turned out to be a blessing. My uncle scammed my mom out of our house. And when she was passing away, that's when she found out that he was scamming her and he wasn't going to give us the house. So she told me, she and I started to like pursue a case together, but she was too sick. And she said, if in the event that she passed away, that I should pursue the case with my siblings. And when we started the case, I realized that I would need to be in New York more. So I didn't go back. I went back to Atlanta just to leave my apartment, my luxury apartment that I love so much, that I had finally achieved. And when I got back to New York, I still had my agent, but I missed the audition because like my mom just passed away, and she had recently lost her mom to cancer too. So she dropped me as her client because she just knew that I wasn't going to be able to.
Oh, that's not what I would have expected.
No, business is business. So I understand I can't mess up her business because I'm mourning, right? So you can say, some people can say it's harsh, but I live in reality and I understand.
I would have thought she would have been a little bit more empathetic because she lost
She
hers.
could have, but she could also say, I saw this happen to me. I know what's about to happen to this young lady. She has other things to worry about, and as opposed to memorizing lines right now, right? So we can look at it both ways. Could she have been more gentle and kept me? Yes. Because she also know that I will probably start missing auditions and not doing well? Yes. I think that I don't judge anyone for the choices that they make. I'm grateful for it because look at my life. Maybe if I would have booked a soap opera, I wouldn't have gone to Miss USA. You know, so, and had my uncle not scammed my mom, I wouldn't have been here. I would have been in Atlanta acting and doing things at Tyler Perry studio, and maybe I would have gotten married, maybe I would have had children. But those,
you still can do all of those things.
And that's the thing. Those things can still happen.
They can all still happen.
But to go to Miss USA, that's the bigger, right? Because you're more likely to have a son go to the Super Bowl than you are to have a daughter go to Miss USA. So all of these whirlwind things happen, but it opened the door for me to live my dream.
Did you finish that story of having to come back? Did you?
Yeah, so I came back. We're still fighting the case. Initially, we thought it was going to just be 1 year. But, with COVID and all that stuff, it turned into 7 years. But it looks like we'll finally get some resolve. But yeah, I'm still fighting.
I know that you will. Just talking to you for the last 30-ish minutes, 40 minutes. You are so strong and intelligent.
Thank you.
And capable.
Thank you.
And aligned.
That's the biggest thing. Me and God, we are locked in.
Listen.
Yeah.
I can feel that. You feel powerful.
Oh, thank you.
And it's like, I don't know if soft power is the word or what, but it feels like you don't have to be in anybody's face.
Yeah, that's me.
To bring down the house.
Yeah.
But you know how to move in other ways.
Which is what gave me the courage to not have to wear a bikini. Right? Because I can show up as my authentic self and be just as good. I don't have to be loud. And also when I fight, I can fight someone and take them down quietly. Right? I don't have to get loud and go to social media and, all of those things. So I fought this case quietly and I fight other battles quietly because I'm a unique person and there are certain things that I have to experience. And
do you have any siblings?
I do. I'm the middle child.
Middle child?
Yeah.
Did you ever fight with your siblings?
Yeah, we might be fighting now. Oh. But I think that's what really made me strong, the relationship of having a family, And that's the thing with my pageant coach, Michelle Holmes, when we were preparing for Miss New York USA, she said, if you win this, you're going to have a lot of people saying mean things to you. I said, girl, I come from the roughest, toughest family. No one can say anything to me that I haven't already experienced. So trust me, I will be fine. I said, by the time this is over, if I win, there'll be AI videos of me eating ham sandwiches and everything. I don't care. I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Not AI videos.
Yes, I could just imagine the things people would come up with. Oh, the Muslim eats pork. She's eating a pork chop sandwich. What? Who made this? Right?
I know. So they can make
anything.
Fakes these days. Anything.
Anything.
How do we know what's real these days?
Nothing is real. Nothing is real.
I posted a photo. Oh, I'm telling on myself. When I first got pregnant and I was very bloated. I was like, me on the beach. Let me just
make it a little smaller.
Yeah. While I'm here, you can might as well make my booty just a little bit
bigger. Nothing is real. Nothing is real.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
What would you say to 8-year-old MonaLesa?
Oh my goodness.
You today, where you are standing, the things that you've accomplished, this beautiful woman who's in front of me right now.
Thank you. So, I used to always say that I wouldn't tell myself anything, but recently, my uncle just had his deposition with the case, and I was actually 8 years old when we moved into the house. So I thought about this recently, and I said the only thing I would have told myself is to tell my mom, don't go into this deal with my uncle. But outside of everything else, with my life, I wouldn't tell myself anything because my life has been such a whirlwind. It's been so beautiful. All of the things that seemed like they wouldn't work out, worked out in the long run. And the prayer that I started last year, Ramadan, because life was just so crazy, I didn't even know what to pray for. And my mom always taught me to make my prayer specific. So I started ending all of my prayers with, oh Allah, give me a life so beautiful, more beautiful than I could have ever imagined. Give me a life so beautiful that people see me and are drawn to you. And he sent me to Miss USA. And that's a life more beautiful than I could have ever imagined because I thought it was over. I thought I would never get to compete. And then I went. So when I think about my life, it's like, why would I tell my younger self anything? Because look how beautifully everything has turned out.
Yeah. I'm so excited for you. I'm so happy to meet you.
Likewise.
You are, to say so beautiful feels like an understatement because there's so many other layers there. You're effervescent and you're affecting more people than you even know. And I hope one day you get to walk away with the title that you want. But I want you to know that even if you don't, you're making a huge impact. You already have. You're going to continue to do that. You are on a path of trailblazing, whether you want that or not. You already are.
Yeah.
I've been watching pageants, sometimes competing in them myself ever since I was, high school or whatever. And I've had to ask myself the first time I saw a couple of girls wear their hair naturally curly at Miss America on stage. What are you doing? I'm yelling at my TV screen. Yeah. I'm like, you're not put together. You're not put together. And then realizing, hold up, Salisha, they're on the Miss America stage.
being themselves.
With their hair that looks like yours, that should be telling you that you are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're doing that in your own lane.
Yeah.
And so for you to show up exactly as you are, it gives other people permission to show up exactly as they are. It's a gift.
Thank you.
Also a responsibility.
That part. And that part, yeah.
That when you're advocating for yourself, you're not just advocating for yourself. You're not just standing up for yourself. You're not doing something that's just scary for you. You're opening a big old door for a lot of people coming up after you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I don't know why God chose me, but I'm definitely grateful, and I'm doing the best that I can to live up to this blessing that he has given me. It's not something that I take lightly. All of the other hijabis that are coming now to compete, I'm supporting them as best that I can. Even other women, when I was at Miss New York, there was a young lady, I believe she might have been Mormon, and she said that she doesn't dress modestly because she's just uncomfortable being around everyone else in the city who's not. But she said, seeing me now, she wants to, embrace more of her modesty because that is who she is. And she's of a completely different, religious background than me. And that's what people don't understand. I feel like I'm the people's champ because I represent everyone. Anyone can see a little of themselves in me. I've been knocked down and had to get up plenty of times. I look different from everyone else. I'm older. I was the oldest of the top 5 at Miss New York USA, probably the oldest in the top 5 in history, right? So think about all of the women who are in their 30s.
You look
right.
The bomb.
Thank you. That's
the bomb.
That's making those prayers.
Come on.
Okay? Making those prayers, minding my business, drinking my water.
Come on.
Doing my workouts.
Come on. Favor ain't fair, but it sure feels fabulous.
Yes, because I've been through some things. I should have some wrinkles. I thank God I don't.
You don't. You really look good.
Yeah.
When this call gets off, I'm going to be like, okay, so do you have a Botox person? Okay, do you have
No, nothing. No, nothing.
Get out of here, okay? No, interview's over.
Nothing. I've been thinking about it, but no, I haven't gotten anything done.
You don't need it.
Thank you.
You don't need it.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for sharing about your mom.
Thank you.
About things that you've never shared anywhere else before. And I know you've been talking a lot. That's what you do as a title holder.
Yeah.
For those who don't know about the pageant system, they have to talk.
All the time.
All the time. It's not just how you look and present yourself. You got to have a brain.
Yes.
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 You have to have a brain.
Because if you don't, you will get exposed. So you definitely have to.
Right.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming on and for sharing your beautiful self. You're awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody, MonaLesa Brackett.